If you're looking for a nice summer dish, especially a side dish, and although fall is approaching, we're going to go ahead and still say it's summer. This fried corn recipe is going to be perfect side dish with fried chicken or fried fish. So stay tuned to see how I get it put together. This recipe, I am using 8 ears of bicolor corn. I am going to place it on my butt cake pan here because it's supposed to catch all of the corn kernels as you scrape it off. But my sink and my counters also caught those corn kernels. But besides that, you want to cut the corn kernels off of your ears of corn. I have some diced tomatoes here. I used about a cup of those cherry tomatoes that I cut in half, and about a half a cup of sweet peppers, which is those little tiny red peppers. And I also used a 1.5 hot pepper. If you don't like anything, if you don't like spicy, don't use the hot peppers. I also used a 1/4 cup of finely diced onions. I'm adding 3 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 heaping tablespoon of butter. So once that is all heated, I am pouring in my veggies, and this is going to saute for about a good 3 to 4 minutes. And after that sautés and those tomatoes start to, break down, then I'm adding my corn. And once you add your corn, you want to add your seasonings. I'm using a little bit of that tomato caldon, which has a lot of good flavors in it. And I'm using a little bit of black pepper. A pinch of salt is going to go in here. I'm using some of that vegetable blend. It is so good with this corn. I love my vegetable blends. And of course, a pinch of Old Bay. Now your seasonings can vary. You can omit the hot, the black pepper if you think your regular peppers is too, spicy enough for it. I'm also using a little bit of Badia Complete. This recipe is very versatile. You could add whatever seasonings and herbs and spices that you like. If you happen to have fresh parsley, that'll go perfect in this dish. But to keep it, that southern and nice flavors and stuff, Cajun seasoning, your pinch of salt, and a pinch of black pepper, and some vegetable seasoning is pretty much all you will need, with about a teaspoon of each. And you're going to saute this for about a good 4 minutes, and then I'm adding some sugar. That's going to bring out the sweetness of the corn. And I let that all cook down. Now, some people like to add about a 1/4 cup of milk to make this a little bit on the creamy side. But I didn't want to add milk. I'm pretty much letting the corn and the juices from the corn and the tomatoes break it down and everything. So I'm giving this a good stir, and then I'm going to cover this up and let this cook for about a good 10 minutes on medium-low heat. And then I check on it halfway through at the 5-minute mark, give it another good stir, and then I let it cover and let it finish cooking for those remainder 5 minutes. And then your corn is going to be ready to eat. Don't you see how that corn looks so good? The tomatoes, the peppers, everything is pretty much breaking down. I'm just breaking down some of those cherry tomatoes a little bit more. I'm adding a tablespoon of flour to this. This is going to help it thicken up those juices from the corn and to kind of help it, become a nice creamy like texture, like I said, from the tomatoes and the corn itself. Once you let that saute and cook the flour down for that remainder 5 minutes that we said, because it takes about a good 10 to 12 minutes to just saute the corn really well. Those remainder 5 minutes of the corn is when you want to add your tablespoon of flour. I let that finish cooking and heat for those minutes, covered up, and then guess what? This corn is ready to be served. This is what it looks like once you remove the lid. It is all cooked. There's no floury taste because we done cooked it down, and look at that. Ooh-wee. That fried corn is so good. Now, if you have acid stomach problems, you can omit the tomatoes and just use probably some red sweet bell peppers, or just don't add any tomatoes or bell peppers at all. If you don't want to do the whole corn cob pieces, you can cheat and use frozen corn. I have used the frozen white corn, and I've used the frozen bicolored corn, and it works just as well. That's just a little cheat that I like to do, but I wanted to show you how I do it the old-fashioned way and cutting it off the cob. So if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you like to eat this fried corn with. Have a great day and God bless.